at certain forums because of the time of day, that parents were there. And but we did hear very loud concerns from the middle school.
Good.
Because of what they have within their day is already lacking before they're even sent home early on Wednesday. And one of the big concerns is a lack of any kind of health program where kids are talking about all kinds of issues and health topics and talking alcohol. When we just don't have that happening. So there was a big hole in the middle school.
Like I said, I don't really know the specific, I just wanted to know that that exercise was helpful for you.
Well, and it told us where they did not want money spent, because as you remember, there were charts that had no stickers. So you see on our list, we're not restoring department heads, and the professional development budget is not in this budget. So, you know, it wasn't in our budget, but when we heard from the people that there are limited funds, the economy is tight, put together just what you need, we took those items off.
I would add to that, at the first session, we got some suggestions about how to do it better. And at the second session, I thought there was a much broader sense of the larger needs of the system, because it was presented differently after the first.
Question for Mrs. Wild, who I should point out is one of the quality teachers in our school system. Go ahead.
Amen.
My big concern is that this question that's on the ballot, however it comes out, is worded as one positive choice for the schools. Last year, people got divided between 1 year and 3 years. It divided us up, and they won, basically. And I think that is a huge concern of mine, that we need to all come together with a plan. This is what we're putting forward, and I do believe with Mr. Jervie that people in their hearts will know this is the right thing to do. We just got divided as to which was the right thing to do.
I think we have a much better chance, because I do think that was a confusing override last year, and I do think it divided the town. So I think that's a great point. So a couple other hands up, and then, sir.
Sean Delaney, I have 2 children in the middle school. I think what people got to realize is that today's middle school or elementary school children, tomorrow's middle school, next year's high school. All school system, the entire school system has a problem here. This ship is sinking, it needs to be corrected, the hole's got to be filled. Mr. Misery, I ask you to go back to your selectmen, fellow selectmen, trust this school committee to spend the money you give to them wisely. You cannot block them in hamstring. You cannot do it. I think at this point we all know we're 13th from the bottom in terms of what we spend on each child in the school system. The math I looked at, that's about $3,000 less than the average in this state have spent on our children in this community. That's unacceptable for a town of North Reading. Trust these people to spend that money wisely. Trust this administration and these educators to do what's right for our kids. I have taken, I think your fellow selectmen should have the same thing as I do. And I think at that point, they will put the programs back into place that they probably know best. This administration knows best. The way I look at it right now, yeah, half day or reduced time during the week on Wednesdays for my children, that's a problem. This is alarming. This middle school setup, that's virtually half days.
Right. Every other day.
That is very, my son is in the 4th grade. 2 years, in 2 years, that's what he's looking at? Worse. Can't happen. Cannot happen. It's not acceptable. We, as a community, need to do something to correct it. At the high school, having class sizes, as I've heard tonight, that's a problem. Huge problem. AP classes, honors classes, it's just impossible for a teacher to teach to those kids and improve the quality of that education. So far, the quality of education in this community has been, in my opinion, fantastic. But with the current state of affairs, it will not continue. Trust this administration, trust the educators in town to do what's right for our children.
Can you put on?
Can we hire you as a spokesperson? Anybody else? David, do you want to say anything before we close?
I think it's late.
Okay. I want to thank all of you for coming out. We have a few more, we got to approve some minutes and things, but we don't have anything else on our agenda. I do encourage you all to go to the selectmen meeting Wednesday night. I appreciate Mr. Mosseri coming here. He's been a staunch supporter of education since I've known Bob, and I really appreciate all the efforts that he's made on our behalf. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Hey, guess what? Well, you in my office. That I was from North Reading. I'm on it with you. Oh my God. She said you want to report my
Yes. I'm sorry. Cousin. You know Diaz?
I taught him in soccer. Yep, in soccer.
You know Steven.
Yep. Played baseball. Yep, exactly. I remember we broke his arm.
Every time someone says to me, how was you're like, yeah. My son's a first year high school. He's quite the ball player too.
Yeah.
You tell him. I said, don't put me on that. He's a good ball player. I do. I talk to his parents all the time.
Okay.
Because, well, obviously my husband and his dad.
I coached him in soccer.
Tell me your name.
He was so nice to talk to. He must be awesome. Yeah.
Exactly.
I said, oh, you can tell he likes his job. Yeah, good. Oh, it's She's responsible for active cells all over the North Shore area with the hope of raising up future legislators. And they start with communities, supporting people to run for schools. They run very good. She really has a real strong value. I mean, I can admit, but I haven't seen that last album. Yeah, someone was complaining to me. And I went, are you kidding me? She left out a circle time.
All right, we need a microphone over that side. Can we put a, Jerry, can we put that microphone over there? Jerry?
There we go. Oh, you have to be in use so the camera.
Okay.
No, it's free. It's free.
I'm gonna try, are you ready?
It did.
No, I think she's good. It's free.
It might even have pictures on it. Okay, let's reconvene the meeting here. Do we have any issues to discuss related to the budget? Dr. Troy, do you want to say anything?
Priorities. If we got extra money, if we got extra funding, we should have priorities, but I don't think we need to have to commit to them either.
My only question on that is, yes, are we working?
Yep, we are. We're up and rolling.
Do we want to come up with a list of priorities that fit in 200,000? We may have some other news that has an impact on us also. We heard the Finance Committee may have approved a support of the status quo budget at FinCom.
Status quo.
Yes. So, do we want to set priorities, I guess is the question. And as I said, I personally cannot look at this and set any specific priorities at this time. So I just don't.
I don't mind grouping,
Yeah.
Are we being stubborn? I mean, don't we always have priorities?
But
as
see,
far
my
as-
priorities are 870,000.
I understand.
Yeah, they don't back it into one number.
Suppose the status quo budget, not the status quo, the available budget, had been $350,000 higher.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you have come in with another $350,000 of priorities?
Yes, and it's my understanding, and I'm not going to prejudge that what my priorities are not going to get approved by the board of
But
Selectmen.
that's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
just- I'm just
That's
making that
quite
statement.
irrelevant.
Okay.
The question is, what
I've got no
are
problem
our
with that.
priorities?
I've got no problem with that.
Is this, am I supposed to be passing these?
No, I think everyone.
Does everyone have one of
We
those?
had one, but didn't clean it up.
Yeah, I think everyone has.
David, are these
This is-
roughly in order of the administration's priorities?
This is roughly in order of the administration's priorities.
Doesn't get us very far.
No.
But I have no problem, actually, if we agree with this, if we agree with the superintendent's recommendation, I have no problem saying, look, this is our priorities. Based on what Maureen brought up, it doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to be able to implement this.
Right.
There may be other things that intervene that, prevent us and preclude us from doing this, but I don't have a problem if we agree with this, because Mel, this is not what they want to hear.
No, but I can tell you that my first three things are high school math, high school science, high school English, followed by,
Those are in order, by the way.
right, but I'm saying those are my three, if you were to give me a certain amount of money, those would be the first three things I would add
So
back.
you're close to agreeing with this list?
And then the elementary reading literacy, and then I think we have to do the
Spend
sped.
have to
Spend and
So-
the ELL,
So there you go, that's
Yeah.
the money right there,
There
the
you go.
356.
the top 7 items.
And that's not gonna restore Wednesdays.
Nope.
No. I'm not saying we should say.
No, I'm just saying-
Wednesdays, I'm
right.
just saying we should give a general priority list.
But the other board members may have different priorities here.
No, I'm absolutely willing to defer to the expertise of the administration here. This is their job. This is what they're studying the whole time.
I have to admit, though, I'm a little uncomfortable with leaving all the study halls in the middle school. I was hoping that we'd get the equivalent of a teacher for art, so that every middle school teacher every student could have math, phys ed, not math, music, phys ed, and art each year, instead of having years when they don't have one or the other.
What happens too, if this were to go public, would you lose some of the momentum and support?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, no, because this, if anything, should gain support
For
from
the
an
override,
override, because the single
Want to go
most,
deeper.
yeah,
Good point.
the single most, the single biggest complaint is the ones they have days, and you're not gonna get to that
Right.
until you get to an override.
And actually, we have to actually go one more down. We have to do the ELL, so
Yeah.
there's 373,000 right there, so.
Yeah, I went down a little deeper into the two middle school levels, the fine arts and the PE, and I came up with, I think, just under 400,000. So I think,
What, we tend to group the three sped positions as a cluster package. What happens if we had 1.5 sped teachers? one, a half at each